I'll get called performative because I wear wired headphones, I drink matcha, and I read in public. These are just things I normally do. Accessories. They don't make the man. The man makes the accessories. They don't make me better than a regular guy. I don't think I'm performative, and to really grasp how performative male is today, I have a video here showing the most performative male accessories ever. We're gonna see how many performative male items we own in this video.
JJ human, then again, I'm a dog like Rin Tin Tin and
Matcha, Labubu, wired headphones, performative male, iPhone 4S.
I always wanted an iPhone 4S, but I only had the 6. And I would just get it now, but then I would be actually performative.
What could possibly be the correlation between these seemingly random things, and how do any of them relate to fashion? Well, these buzzwords all represent the new realm of fashion accessories that have been birthed out of the need of social media addicted fashion victims to signal social status or how cultured or how in the know they are. The costume has transcended the clothes. With social media allowing millions of users to live the life of influencers vicariously, the idea that every aspect of your life needs to be curated has become completely normalized. The 15 seconds of fame saying has gone from being somewhat figurative to very literal, considering how the TikTok algorithm can randomly decide to make someone an internet sensation.
TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, they just have some hidden agenda. They'll just make the most random people popular. Like right now, they're trying to give EDP 445 a platform again.
Look at the motherfucking duck lips, my nigga. Guess how many kids she have?
One, two,
No, not even close.
3,
Not even close.
4,
Not even close.
5,
Not even close.
6,
You're almost there.
7,
No.
8.
She has 8 fucking kids, bro.
And that's just insane. This dude wanted to kids, and we are just like pretending it's funny. Shit, I'll pretend too. Ain't no freedom fighter in this bitch.
I'm saying hot tour or something into the eyeballs of millions of people.
If you weren't going to talk to a girl in 2025, you're a liar. Like, we all did that.
And if you don't hit the internet virality jackpot by yourself, then there's always a chance you're just round the corner from a street interviewer who could single-handedly launch your career as an influencer superstar. Well, while this is happening, everyone has become desensitized to fashion thanks to social media. Designer clothes were once a rarer sight for the average person, but now you can watch Wisdom put together an outfit worth more than your parents' joint annual salary on a random Tuesday morning. Ready With Me and pickup style content has normalized constant consumption of expensive and designer clothes. And if you do ever finally feel unique about your wardrobe and personal style, then the social media algorithm somehow does this thing where it suddenly starts showing you content of people who like and wear exactly the same clothes as you.
I promise you, the people watching this video, y'all don't got chrome like me. You might have said a target audience, you guys don't got chrome like me. I'm Balenciaga, you guys don't got requirements. I've never seen one of you guys money spread.
This becomes warped and you start thinking some niche fashion item is a widespread trend. This, combined with how accessible pretty much every style of fashion has become due to hyper-fast fashion, dupes, or vintage and secondhand marketplaces, has meant that clothes can't scratch that main character syndrome itch to convince yourself that you're cooler and aesthetically light years ahead of any simpleton in your immediate vicinity or TikTok For You page. And so, no one cares about your $30,000 Birkin anymore. You can get those at Walmart now anyway. That bag is just a blank canvas for the status signaling masterpiece, being a secret rare Labubu bag charm. It's not like trends and fads haven't occurred with items outside of fashion before, but within the context of the modern social media landscape where clothes aren't enough to set yourself apart and convey your individuality anymore, lots of people have resorted to these sorts of miscellaneous things.
Everybody who wasn't a sheep and didn't get a Labubu, raise your hands. Not because I couldn't afford one. I'm just on a different plane of fashion. Totally not because I couldn't afford one. Hey, that Labubu got on my ring on his finger.
Signal something. And as a result, this has become viewed as a performative act.
That's the exact book. How many items are you?
In this video, we will be focusing on the items that have, for all intents and purposes, become glorified fashion accessories. And because this is a YouTube video, let's put them into a tier list because, yeah, why not? Since the pandemic, collectibles have become increasingly more popular every year among adult consumers. Every few months, a new set of Pokemon cards will come out, and then adult scalpers will clear out entire shelves in front of the children the products were made for. LEGO has increased its output of sets aimed at adults.
I'll be seeing people just beating each other up over the Pokemon machine. That's top 10 funniest things ever.
There's also the Blind Box Mania, Smiskies, Sunny Angels, Hironos, and the focus of this section of the video, Labubus. In recent times, these little creatures on keychains have been absurdly popular, with the rarer ones reselling for insane prices. The brand Popmart, which produces these toys, reported that in 2024 they earned $423 million from Labubu alone. The mania surrounding these dolls has even resulted in people in balaclavas turning up to Labubu releases and starting fights with Popmart employees. This is what happened at the Pop Mart store in the Westfield shopping centre located in Stratford, London in May, which resulted in Pop Mart pausing all sales across the UK for Blind Box series. As insane as this is, I'm also not surprised that this happened at the Stratford Westfield of all places. Even after all the training and steroids, Ashton Hall had to commandeer a line bike to escape from that place. I'm not going to go down that route of saying Labubus are horrible, dreadful shit gremlins that absolutely no one should own because of overconsumption. Not that that isn't an issue. If you're suddenly renovating your dedicated Funko Pop collection room into a Labubu one, then you probably need to chill out. Luckily, most consumers aren't like that though. But I do talk about fashion and owning clothes on this channel, so I don't think it really makes sense to shit on people for owning like $5 $30 Labubus.
When I was looking at Labubus, they were $100. I guess I was late to the trend or something. $30 a Labubu? Where? Show them to me.
In the online fashion community, to have a collection of 20 pairs or more of shoes with a single pair costing more than 5 Labubus combined. You're not an enlightened monk free from worldly desires because you abstain from buying collectible toys but start frothing at the mouth whenever multiple items in your essence.
The reason why I feel superior is because I don't have them. You know, of course, if I had the money, I would get them. The fact that I don't have them means I'm more financially responsible and mentally capable than you.
Wish list go on sale. If you watch fashion content, then you likely enjoy owning and consuming things. If you put anything under a microscope, you are bound to find some sort of unethical component to criticize, so I will refrain from doing this to Labubus purely because they are popular, even though hating on trends is really, really cool. Okay, that's enough being non-contrarian and empathetic to micro-trend enjoyers. Now I'm going to shit on Labubus for other reasons. As many people probably already know, the reason these toys became pseudo-fashion accessory items was due to the bag charm trend that started in 2024 and is still popular in 2025. I think this was bound to happen given how trinkets in general have been on the rise since COVID, I guess. Owning and collecting cool or cute but functionally useless shit is acceptable and encouraged on the internet nowadays, so naturally a trend like this would emerge.
I don't collect much things, but I do have a few things on my desk. The first thing on my desk is Kuromi. Yes, I really like Kuromi. The next thing we have is this beautiful lady right here. Gotta always keep the baddies. I should put something relating to Instagram somewhere on her. Then it will really be an Instagram baddie. And I will really enjoy it much more than I already do. Not in the way you're thinking.
Bag charm trend was the idea that by customizing what hangs off your bag, you convey a level of authentic individuality. But obviously that facade collapses when tons of people are not only doing the same thing after seeing it on TikTok, but are also using exactly the same bag charms. It's funny how we finally had a trend that focuses on individuality and personality, and it still immediately decayed into another soulless, trend-hopping contest of who has more money to spend on the rarer Labubus. So after all of this, I'm sticking Labubus in C tier. I don't have much of an opinion about them as collectible items.
Be there.
Yes, they are a fad. Yes, some people do need to chill out with buying them, but in the years to come, you can still have them as like a trinket thing in your bedroom, I guess, and it's clear a lot of people like that sort of thing. But as a fashion item dangling from a bag, I think all that says about anyone is that you spend too much time on TikTok. Something is only quirky and charming when only a few people do it and wasn't fed to you by an algorithm. This traditional Japanese green tea has been on the rise globally for the past few decades now.
We have to sit down. Goat is finally on the screen, guys.
Japan's Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries announced that the production of matcha has increased from 1,471 tons per year to 4,176 tons between 2010 and 2023, with more than half of that total now being exported out of the country. I would expect these numbers to rise further, seeing as since 2024, matcha has exploded in popularity on social media.
As a matcha drinker, we all hate matcha at the start. At some point, you try matcha for the first time, it's horrible. Somebody says, oh, try it for a second time. But then after the third time, you kind of like it. It's always horrible the first time for us too. Then you just start liking it.
Japan is now facing matcha shortages, with farms not being able to keep up with the global demand. It features in so many fit pics nowadays, and going to get matcha has become one of the more popular excuses for fashion MFs to put that shit on and go outside. As much as I do like matcha myself, I'm convinced that the main reason it's so popular among influencers and on the internet in general is simply because it looks cool. And I do get it. Green is a cool color. And if it's in matcha latte form, which everyone gets, that pastel-like green is very aesthetic and Instagram story-worthy. And don't get me started on these like blueberry or strawberry flavored matcha drinks that a lot of chain coffee shops seem to do. This shit is like lean for people who use Pinterest. The Starbucksification of matcha? Something that I realized recently is that what matcha is in 2024 and 2025 is what Guinness was in 2022 and 2023. Guinness is Irish matcha, basically. It had the same performative aspect to it where people felt cool for drinking it.
Guinness, as in like the thing that's found beer bottles, bro. Guinness has always been the most horrible liquor ever. Like if you drink that, you gotta be Irish or something. It doesn't make any sense.
The same people who used to post themselves splitting the G on their stories now post themselves whisking up ceremonial grade matcha before line biking into their marketing jobs. Anyway, matcha is going into S tier. Yeah, there's a lot of chain coffee shop matcha slot drinks out there, but when it's good...
Hear me out. Boba matcha. And again, I don't think so. Matcha kind of tastes like grass. And Starbucks be overly matchaing it. If they like you, they'll overly matcha it, thinking that you will like it. And then it's just too much matcha and it's just like bitter. So I try to be a normal customer and not make them like me too much.
But it's fucking good. There is definitely a bit of an unserious stigma surrounding it now, and people will likely assume you only like it because of TikTok, but the drink is worth bearing the weight of that judgment. Whenever I order matcha from my local cafe, I can just see this look in the barista's eyes like he thinks I'm one of those matcha drinkers. But I don't concern myself with the opinions of someone who has a moustache and mullet regarding trend following. The only thing that kind of gets a pass for me is wired headphones. Purely because a lot of people simply can't afford expensive wireless ones.
My wired headphones has got me through more than anything else. It's like a layer of protection against your innocence. People try to take your innocence every day, but if you have wired headphones, you just tune them out.
If you have the £500 Apple AirPod Maxes from when they were a trend in recent years, but now leave them at home in favor of a wired pair of earphones because they look better with your newly adopted Heady Boy style, then you are a certified trend-hopping performative final boss dickhead. Books have always been used for social signaling, as your taste in literature can say a lot about you as a person. But this is the case of all forms of media, and by showing the world you like some specific piece of media, then that can act as an extension of your personality. And as a result, people will judge you based on that and can like you more or less because of it. This guy in California replaced the Tesla logo with the Aphex Twin one on his car, and it stopped all the issues he was having with people vandalizing it. It's crazy that some Cornish bloke named Richard is so widely liked that his name can act as a force field for the property of rich people in America. In modern times, books are unique in terms of social signaling simply because the younger generation does not read as much as previous generations. As a result, simply showing off that you like to read will give an impression of you being an intellectual.
People back then didn't even have phones. They had no choice but to read. So the fact that we read, it makes it cooler.
Before considering the book. I'm not saying that all younger readers are performative, but I have personally never seen a trendy or fashionable looking younger person who is also reading or holding a book in public.
Well, he never seen me, so I guess it's true.
Be a culturally obvious or an if you know type book by an author with a cult following. On my 13-hour flight back from Japan last year, across the aisle from me was a late 20s looking gentleman dressed in trendy clothes who immediately whipped out a pristine copy of Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami as soon as he sat down.
That guy specifically, I can't defend him. That's just so performative, dude. Bro, we know you're not reading that book. That book is in Japanese and it's old. You don't even know Japanese!
And knocking back loads of beers and cocktails and dumping all the cans in the aisle, which all ended up by my feet, so I don't feel bad about chatting shit about him on the internet. Not once did he pick up that pristine looking book. This idea of performatively carrying around books as fashion accessories to give some manufactured cultural aura has become increasingly popular in recent times, especially as a lot of celebrities have been doing it. Vivienne Westwood famously said, "A status symbol is a book. A very easy book to read is The Catcher in the Rye. Walk around with that under your arm, kids. That is status." This is why you guys listen to me speak, because I depict myself as academic Vegeta in the library reading a book. Most younger readers are actually female, so it further pushes the archetype of the performative male, especially if they are carrying around a book which is more commonly associated with or appreciated by female readers. Some books are also considered to be male red flag books, like
Not gonna lie, I'd be reading for the huzz. I'll be reading for the huzz, don't even lie.
American Psycho or 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene.
Okay, I never read these, and the people performative books I've read, like Atomic Habits, but like 48 Laws of Power, like everybody picks up. I never read
anything about this book. It's just about how to manipulate people and be a dickhead. But coincidentally, I have actually seen someone reading this in public on a train. Books are in B tier. When they're clearly being used as a fashion accessory or to flex in general, then that is just objectively cringe, but at the end of the day, books are books. Information and stories and that. If you carry it or read a book out in public nowadays, people are just going to assume you're doing it performatively. So just get an e-reader instead, and at least that way it feels more like Instagram Reels, or do what I do and get someone to read them to you like a child with audiobooks. For the final section of the video, I wanted to talk about something a bit different that definitely is not a trend, but is something I want to encourage and see more of. With all of the items I've listed so far, there's a stigma of performance that people find inauthentic and shallow, especially if it's a micro-trend camouflaged as a symbol of individuality. So why not replace them with stuff that is purely meant to be performative but can't simply be purchased overnight after seeing it on TikTok? I'm talking about weird, niche, skill-based toys or hobbies. Think kendamas, yo-yos, juggling, stuff like that. Fuck the
It's
boo-boos,
pretty
I want to see a
cool.
kendama hanging from your Birkin and then watch you hit some crazy trick mid-fit check.
So the moral of this video really is your accessories are just an extension of you. And if you enjoy matcha and just being the best in the world, being a performative male is probably for you.